Hey everyone, so I've currently got the lap record on the 300cc category. I want to try and take that a bit flat, I'll explain that in a bit, at the Ulster Grand Prix, and I'm just basically showing how I ended up doing it. So I try and make sure I've reached about 126 by that start finish straight, which means you have to go flat on that last bend. You are literally just flat throughout this whole section. It is literally just flat, flat, flat. The bike will just about get up to 130 miles per hour. Now, I try and keep the bike more upright going through some of these bends because the more you lean over, the more speed you lose. So I try to, if I can, just keep it upright, but it is difficult because it will turn a lot. Still flat, still flat, still flat through here. Now here, just before that 2 sign, I try and pull back on the controller, and try and brake nice and early so I get a really good drive out the corner. The better drive you get out this corner, the better it makes it. So sometimes at that corner you need to brake earlier. Go up to 6th gear when you get to 112 miles per hour. Your TCS and your anti-wheelie need to be off. I do use the engine brake, just think it helps out. But the TCS and anti-wheelie do slow speed. Again, it's just so much of this course is flat and keeping the bike upright. The way you're going to make time up is coming up to where we are now. Now, I hate this is the worst section of the course because it's stupidly bumpy. Oh, I try and even just dab the back brake a little bit, but you see what I mean? Yeah, see, there we go. Now, obviously it's an invalid lap now, but I'll try and make that a bit cleaner. But yeah, it's trying to make that as clean as possible because it is a very difficult corner to take. Worst section because it's bumpy, awful. Anyway, flat through here. And now when you see the 1 sign, I brake just a bit before then, and I try and go flat, drop it down to 5th flat, and as I come into here, go to 6th gear just before I take that corner because it helps you just carry that extra bit of speed through. I find for some reason on this side of the track you get that bit quicker. You see I'm at 119, I can usually reach about 120, but I just find it's weird with this track because if you're on the left side, sometimes you're doing a mile per hour slower and it's probably just for the bumps. Here it needs to be as straight as possible. I've crashed a million times there, crashed many times in my attempt to break the world record. Here again it's horrible. At that 1 sign I just let go, just try and feather the throttle a little bit, and then it just helps bring you through that sort of bit. You're trying to keep it as pinned as possible. It's the only way I can describe it. And when you have to brake, I would say try and brake early so that way if you brake early, you are then going to be able to get a better drive out the corner. Here's another example. So we're still flat, still flat, still flat. I've always got the lines on. When I see that red, and I just try and then it's like full throttle there, but I drop down a gear, then open it up. We're coming through here, as you see 3, and then at 2, I brake down into 4th. Try and keep it flat. Off the throttle, on the throttle. And then at that 2nd gear sign. This isn't my best lap, obviously, but this is just a demonstration, just to kind of show where I make up the time. Again, coming through here, up in 6th gear, so that the bike just carries that bit more speed through. And then it's like left, but then I try and like lift the bike up as much as I can, keep it straight. I take this bit flat, this bit again is flat, and then it's down into 5th gear, full throttle around that section, and then you just basically keep on going. Oh, I missed my marker there, that's my own fault. You can take that flat. So there we go, and as we come through now, we get 356, 357, 358, so that would be that would be just about 2nd fastest around that section, but sometimes you've got to go slower on the slower sections and get a good drive out. Quick mention on tyres, because I probably put the wrong ones. Put the soft ones on because the soft tyres are just a lot better, but I did that with medium. Bike setup, I've got the front preload low and the rear preload high because I want the bike to move. I'd like for me personally as a video game, when I'm on the bike, I like the bike to be able to move when I want it to move. I don't like a bike that's more precise. And as you can see, I've made it so the bike is very agile throughout all those things. Just go to calibrations, the rake and trailer lower, the acceleration, the braking, because it's a 300cc bike, it needs to be aggressive. And the transmission, lower, I've taken it 2 lower on the first gear, 1 lower on the second gear from the normal, 3rd and 4th gear normal, 5th gear slightly higher just to give it a bit more pull, and 6th gear I don't put it right up to the top, because I find if I put it right up to the top it then is a bit drony and it doesn't have the acceleration in 6th gear. Then final ratio max. Now if I put the final ratio down to here, the bike will only do about 126 miles per hour. If I go full, it'll do 130, and that is obviously with doing the gears like that as well. I'm sorry that the it's not proper easy to watch, because I don't have proper camera equipment and stuff, but that is just a rough guide. And I see if I go to personal leaderboard, and there you will see the Yamaha R3 357.818, and if you look at the Ulster Grand Prix in the 300cc, that is the world lap record. So thank you very much, and just thought I'd show it to you guys because it is a difficult track. Thank you.